Shah Rukh. A name that India uses both as an adjective and a noun.
ऐसा लगता हूँ मैं
Shahrukh.
A name that has so much context, so many memories and references attached to it. From iconic dialogues to scenes,
70 मिनट.
and in this age of reels, even the numerous interviews and fan stories that make this man a myth. But what makes him truly special is the 90s. And when I say the 90s, I have a very specific film on my mind. Nope, it's not DDLJ. It's a film where he has no action scenes, no over-the-top dialogues, no dream sequences, and heck, not even this. Hi, I am Siddh here, and this is Think. If you guessed it from the thumbnail, you're a real fan. But for those who didn't, it's Kabhi Haan Kabhi Naa, a film that gets almost zero credit for being relatable when it wasn't even a thing. And most importantly, it embodies the soul of an Oscar-nominated film, Toy Story. I know, right? How could it possibly be? What could be common between a love triangle of young adults and two toys and a kid? Turns out, a lot. Both Woody and Sunil have unprecedented love for Andy and Anna. Both of them want their undivided love and attention. But enter Chris and Buzz. But wait, that's like saying that every story with a love triangle is Toy Story. Am I saying that? No. What brings these two worlds together, apart from the similarities in the plot, are the character arcs of the protagonists. Both Sunil and Woody don't lack anything by themselves, but they're just unfortunate to be overshadowed by someone they have no chip over. Both these characters have the same fear of being replaced in the life of that one person that means the world to them. And to tackle the situation, both plan a small coup against their supposed rivals only to stab themselves in the back, leading to similar consequences. Woody is cancelled by his toy friends and Sunil by his. The films take different turns from here on because despite having the same fears, the characters act on different flaws. Sunil latches on to his lies and sweet talking, while Woody acts on his all about himself attitude. However, just like Woody has to accept Buzz's position in Andy's favorite toy hierarchy, Sunil too has to put forth Anna's interest over his. Both the stories teach the same lessons and ask for the same sacrifice from their protagonists, which is to cope with a world that may not always give you love the way you want it, but it wouldn't starve you either, as long as you do the right thing. Now, that's a heavy lesson even for adults. Yet, both these films do a fantastic job of making you feel it without any patronizing dialogues or intense sequences, like the others at that time. And that is what makes the story, the characters, and the world special in ways you just can't tell. Be it the 90s or today, Hindi cinema has often failed to recognize the power that characters like Sunil and their story holds. You don't always need a high scale of production or a banging music album to connect with the audience. In fact, those are the optionals, and I take the liberty to say that not as any expert on cinema, but as an audience who knows what they want. Sunil had nothing but his genuineness to offer. As a matter of fact, he was as deceitful as a vamp of a typical Indian daily soap. But the fact that despite being an avid liar, he couldn't ever manage to get past even a single lie in the film is what makes him absolutely adorable. And if any writer is watching this who's looking to add layers to the characters in their story, well, that's definitely some inspiration. There are some characters that you love, some that you want to be, but very rarely do you find a character that is you and makes you feel good about it. And to have an actor like Shah Rukh Khan play it, who then went on to become as big as any actor could, makes it even more special. On another note, I often keep reading interviews and articles about how it has become difficult for makers to reach an audience and how retention is an even bigger challenge. Urging the makers to give in to trends and make films they might not believe in themselves.
तुम्हारी तरह एक किस्मत का मारा हूँ.
But despite this salvation, there is also a constant conversation of how movies don't feel like movies anymore, and people would rather rewatch an old film then try a new one. While everyone tries to find the answers in finding the right genres or representation and VFX, I believe the answer is the lack of simplicity in the stories, something that ages like fine wine. But who knows, maybe in this era of short attention spans and quick recoveries, playing the longer game is like fighting for a lost cause. And maybe that is the reason why a good chunk of people believe it when he says,
ऐसा बोल दूं? बोलो ना. I'm the last of the stars. You're the last of the stars.
right? I guess that's just something to think.
हाँ हो गया. बढ़िया. मिला सब मिला.
Good.
मिला एकदम फ्रेश.
ये होता है.
यही होता है.